Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Sonder Social. I'm Malika. I will be leading you through tonight's Sonder Social. I'm really excited to have you all with me tonight. There's over 100 of you, so welcome, welcome. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat, but if you're new, shout yourself out. Just say, I'm new. And we also want to welcome you new folks. Oh gosh, there's a little bug. Um, and we're very excited to have you join. Welcome, welcome. And then I see a lot of folks that are familiar names in the chat. So welcome back to all of you returning. I am dialing in from sunny San Francisco, California, and I'm joined by Jennifer Krippner, who will be there she is. She's popping on to give you a big ol' wave. Hello. She will be manning the chat. So if you have any questions or anything like that, Jennifer will be able to help assist you. And some folks I'm seeing in the chat already that your messages are only getting sent to Jennifer and myself. So do a double check and make sure your chats are sent to everyone. There's a little blue toggle. So make sure to set that to everyone so that everyone here can see your wonderful messages, because that's the primary form of communication throughout this event. All right. With that, we'll get right into it. So, since there are some new folks, I will walk us through the community guidelines. Just remember to be kind and courteous to yourself and others. No promo or spam. Respect everyone's privacy. No hate speech or bullying. Limit any repetitive product and accessory questions and customer care inquiries to hello@siliconsonder.com. And just remember that Sonder Socials are a time for you to elevate your emotional health and also connect with the community at large. So you are kind of getting the most out of your journal, that you are investing this time in yourself, and we all get to kind of work through prompts together. So it's always special to do these types of socials, especially because we get a lot of ideas from one another. So yeah, so I'm very excited to have you here. And then let's chat about momentum. We're really going to dive into momentum for this social. So when we think of momentum, I love the definition that is written in page 2 of Meha's letter. So momentum, in the second paragraph, she defines it as a force that propels us forward, igniting the spark of progress and change. Just as nature bursts forth with new life, March presents us with an opportunity to cultivate our own sense of momentum. It's a time to harness the energy of the changing seasons and launch ourselves towards our goals and aspirations. I think that's perfect given that we are starting a new season. And this is just the perfect time to really think about what propels us forward to reach our goals. And maybe those goals are undefined. Maybe we don't know what those goals are, but maybe we can kind of think about what trajectory we're moving in and take inventory of this is the right path for us. I know this theme is like perfect timing in my world. So I really am excited to kind of dive in together, especially with our activities for today. So this is definitely something to keep in mind. I love that definition on page 2. So anytime you're thinking about what's momentum, think of it in that context. And think of it as a way to ignite us towards progress and change. And all right, we will now, I'll walk us through the agenda. So we'll start off with an opening activity, which will be fun and creative for you all. So I'm excited for you guys to get a little bit more fun. And then we'll move into the balancing momentum, which will be a little bit heavier. And then we'll close out with the My Favorites activity on page 19. All right, so for the first activity, I want everyone to turn to a blank page or a scratch paper or any like little post-it, sticky, whatever, and think about kind of who you were when you were a kid and doodling in the margins, thinking about kind of how you like would doodle in class. This is kind of the same concept where we're just going to start doodling objects that are in motion. So it can be abstract, it can be a little bit more like actual, like something more realistic. So it can really be anything you want it to be, but think about kind of objects in motion. So we're not thinking about like still objects, but we're thinking about things with movement. Technically, if it's an object, it can all move, but think about kind of displaying that movement somehow through your art. So with that, I'll give you all some time. Think of here we have some examples of a paper airplane. We see a shooting star, falling leaves, or maybe some flowing water in a river or waterfall, whatever that may be. Think about kind of where your mind goes towards when you're thinking of momentum or an object in motion. So I'll give you all some time to doodle and then we'll regroup in a little bit. All right. Thank you all for sharing what you're drawing. There's so many fun doodles that you all kind of did that were all very creative. I love this dandelion. That's such a fun one to do with lots of wishes. That was very nostalgic from when we were kids. I remember blowing out a lot of dandelions as a kid. How fun. I love all the creativity in the chat, and I hope I get to see some sketches in Sonder Club. Make sure to share with us in Sonder Club after the social. All right. We'll now move on to balancing momentum on page 15. So if we turn to page 15, you'll see there's momentum journal prompts on the other side, there's balancing momentum. So here we see like a T table. Wait, sorry about that. I'm not changing my slide. There we go. And on the left, we see things that hinder my momentum. And then on the right, we see things that help accelerate my momentum. So, and at the top, we see some direction. So momentum is about celebrating progress over perfection and getting clear on what we need to keep going. Reflect on what slows you down and what pushes you forward. So here I have some examples of what I put in mine, and I'll kind of walk through also bullet by bullet some things to think about when you think about things that hinder your momentum and things that help accelerate your momentum. So for things that hinder my momentum, I put in my self-doubt and my current workplace. I've been dealing with a lot. Jennifer Krippner knows all the details because I've had so many socials with her throughout the month. And it's become very toxic and very not very helpful in terms of making me feel like I'm growing and evolving. And I think about kind of when I think about things that hinder my momentum, I think about what makes me feel like I'm in a place where I'm stagnant or stuck. What contributes to my scarcity mindset? What triggers feelings of anxiousness, uneasiness, inadequacy? Identify what people, places, habits to avoid that inhibit your growth. So think about kind of what hinders your momentum, and you can think of it. I kind of put some ideas on what else you can think about that would go into that column. So I love what Monica put in the chat. Overthinking is a great one. I also do that as well. Kimberly, poor sleep habits. I definitely have poor sleep habits. These are all things that are kind of hindering me from moving forward. So I love this chatter in the chat. And I know that we are everyone here is somebody who's very in tune with themselves. So that's why you're part of this community. And it's kind of thinking about what are those things in our lives that are not serving us, that are not serving us from reaching our goals or feeling like we're able to, and kind of identifying what those feelings are, what those actions are, what those habits are, what those things that we kind of gravitate towards that don't really help us. And then on the flip side, identifying things that help accelerate our momentum. So for me, I'm very visual. I like to write a lot, therefore I love to journal. But part of that is creating kind of a life plan and writing it out. And even if the life plan is very like almost like a roadmap that seems intangible and out of the realm of possibility in my current state, just mapping it out and mapping out what I'm looking for, what I want, what I kind of envision for my life helps me kind of think about the direction and the trajectory I want to grow towards. And that in itself is really helpful for me. And then also letting go of this concept of a timeline to figure it all out. So I know and I'm in my late 20s now, and a lot of my friends are kind of getting married, and here I am in a very different phase of life, and it's totally fine. This whole concept of a timeline is not really important. It doesn't really matter. It's about kind of figuring out my own path in life. So, those are some examples of things that help accelerate my momentum. And I also included some bullets here to help you brainstorm. So, identifying what makes you feel capable, what contributes to the abundance mindset, what triggers feelings of worthiness, encouragement, and strength, what helps you lead a purposeful life. What actions can you incorporate to give you drive and motivation for all of your goals? So, think about kind of what those things are that help feel like you are on top of the world and you can keep going. There's more to explore, there's more to do. And think about kind of what those actions you can do, or what things that you already do that help make you feel motivated and ready to go. So, I'll give you all some time. I know this one's going to be a little bit longer of a writing session, but I think this is a really, really fun activity. And it'll help us kind of think about what's we need to let go of and what we need to focus on. And it'll definitely be a lot more eye-opening than than most activities. I love this activity. I think I definitely enjoyed doing this one. This couldn't have come at a better time for me. So I hope you all can kind of get the same effect as well. And definitely type in the chat. I already see the chat popping off. Like I love the chatter. It's so great because I love reading through what you put in your tables because I can't see you writing it. So definitely share in the chat, and I will catch up with you all in a few minutes. Take your time. There's going to be a good chunk of time for you to really reflect, and then I'll pop in and see how you're doing, and then I'll give you a little bit more time as well if you need it. All right, I just wanted to check in. I know this chat has been really, really great. There's a lot of chatter, and I know it's hard to kind of think about things that hinder our momentum sometimes. Um, and thinking about like what were those triggers, what helped, what just kind of made you feel really stagnant. And I know as I was writing these, it was a little difficult to write these down, and hard to kind of get back into that place where it's just not it's not easy to admit to ourselves sometimes. But you know what? It's okay. This is like all part of the process. And it's almost like as we write it down, we're like letting it go. We're kind of just seeing, okay, this is what's draining me. And now we get to figure out on the flip side what's going to fill us back up. So, if you haven't already, definitely try to fill out that second column. And I will check back in a few. All right. We will now move on to the next activity. I know it's been a lot of writing, so twist out your wrist, and take a deep breath. Shake it off a little bit. I think this was such a fun activity. I really, really enjoyed reading through everything that helps accelerate your momentum, what hinders your momentum. It's a good way to kind of really lean into this month's theme. We will now move on to the next activity, which is the My Favorites activity. So turn to page 19 for this one. And for this one, there is a lot of I couldn't find too many examples from Sonder Club, but you know what? You all are going to fill it out, and there's going to be so many examples for everyone else to get inspiration from. But I filled this out myself, and I wanted to kind of walk you through mine. It's kind of a fun activity for the social. I love a good like. It kind of reminds me of when we're in kindergarten and we had to write out like our favorite things. So it just reminds me of that. So it's always fun. So for this one, I put in my favorite childhood memory is every international trip I've done with my family. My family and I used to travel a lot, and I have nothing but good memories. Even when I was a little girl, I still remember those moments. So they were very, very positive and happy, always made me feel inspired. And I always learned so much from seeing people that were different than me and living a different life than me. And love that and hold it near and dear. And then in terms of my favorite music genre, I think some of you folks know this. I am a West Coast girl. I love hip hop and rap. It's been a part of me since I was a little girl. So I'm a huge hip hop girl. And you probably have heard it since I love to play Dr. Dre, in some of my socials, and it's highly requested. So I love a good hip hop and rap genre. I love a good concert, love a good just rap song. It just helps me feel pumped up. And it's usually what I listen to when I'm driving around. And then my favorite song, okay, this one was really hard, but honestly, anything by Justin Bieber is probably the right answer, but again, Justin Bieber is truly one of my favorite artists. He is the artist of my generation, and um, I'm a huge believer. What can I say? And then one of my favorite quotes is a quote from Aristotle. So it is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. So I love that quote. I think that's a really nice quote for this period of my life. My favorite type of exercise, well, it changes, but there was a period of time where all I did was hot yoga. I loved it so much. And then I moved to San Francisco and I didn't love the hot yoga classes in the city. They were not hard enough for me. They didn't heat up the classes enough, so it wasn't kind of my cup of tea. But I do love low impact weighted workouts. I love a reformer Pilates class. Those are always fun. And yeah, so honestly, love workout classes. So that's what I like to do. There's a workout studio right across the street from my apartment building that I love to go to, and it's just a studio with all workout classes. So I get to kind of hop around and do different types of things. And last week I took a really fun hot bar class, which definitely tested my strength. Then my favorite way to relax is my journal, light a candle, and drink a warm beverage, maybe a tea or something. So that is all my favorite. I love Leah. Yes, I also love to indulge in carbs and sit on the couch and be a potato. That is definitely also a great way to relax. And I like binge watch Love is Blind. I don't know if everyone else does, but I definitely do. And then my favorite type of weather is sunny. I'm a Southern California girl. All I care about is the sun. Even if it's cold outside, I don't really care as long as I see the sun. So that is just my favorite type of weather. I'll never get sick of it. And then my favorite form of entertainment is okay, probably a toss-up between reality TV and limited series. I love a good true crime limited series. I love, just like a scripted drama, all that stuff. I love it all, but limited series for sure. I don't know if that was the correct way to interpret the prompt, but that's how I answered it. And then my favorite way to travel is probably being alone on a plane. As much as I love traveling in a group, I love being alone on a plane. It's just there's something to it. You're completely disconnected from the world. You can binge watch your TV or movies or whatever. You can also read, you can do whatever you want. No one's bothering you. You don't have to do anything besides be on that plane. It's kind of like the only way we get to disconnect in our world nowadays, which is kind of sad, but also it's kind of great. And people know that they can't reach you and you can't reach them. So it's kind of nice to just be in a plane and fully in your element. And then my favorite way to spend time with loved ones is either a night out or dinner and wine at home. So kind of depends on the vibe and the mood. But I love to explore, but I also love just conversation at home and just doing something chill. So, those are my favorites. And I already see a ton of chatter in the chat. So definitely keep sharing your favorite things as you fill them in. And don't like feel constricted to only write in this. Maybe you wanna draw, maybe you wanna express yourself through stickers, or you wanna doodle a little bit. We doodled in the beginning, and you wanna doodle again. Definitely feel free to do that on this page. Get creative with it, get fun. There's no rules about how you need to answer this. Um, Honestly, the more stickers, the more doodles, the better. So definitely feel like you have full creative control. So I will give you all some time. Oh, live music is a good one. I love live music. That's fun. I'm actually going to a concert on Thursday, so I'm very, very excited. But yeah, I know favorite song is really hard. I'm seeing Chelsea Cutler, so I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but she's kind of like a pop artist. But yeah, so I'll give you all some time and feel free to share with us in the chat as you're filling this out. And I will check back in a few. All right. We're nearing the end of our social. So thank you all so much for sharing all of your favorite things. It's always fun to end on a more fun note, and this was definitely a fun activity. We got really deep and now we got really fun. So that was a great way to end the social. So thank you all so much for spending this hour with yourselves and with each other and with me. I had such a lovely evening with you all. Yes, I will definitely share my playlist. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Let me just add the link. Here we go. There it is for you all. And then Jennifer typed in some links for you all. So here are the QR codes. We have our referral program going on. So if you love Silk and Sonder, and if you know somebody that would also love it as well, make sure to take advantage of our referral program. And then also, you can, if you're not on the annual subscription already, make sure to take advantage of the annual subscription. You could be saving a ton of money. And then also make sure to fill out that feedback survey. Sonder socials are a kind of result of your feedback. So make sure to let us know what you want to see of these programs are truly meant for you to get the most out of your journal. So make sure to fill out that survey. Let us know what you want to see in the socials. And then we also have that private YouTube link that houses all of our past socials and all that lovely content for you all. So if you're ever curious about some past socials that you may have missed, make sure to check that out. But anyways, thank you all so much for spending some time with me tonight. I know I feel so much better after chatting with all of you, and it was very much needed today. So thank you. Happy spring. And I will see you hopefully at my next social. Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.
I waited till I saw the sun. I don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. When I saw the break of day, I wish that I could fly away instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hand. My heart is drenched in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. Out across the endless sea, I would die in ecstasy, but I'll be a bag of bones driving down